Hi everyone, welcome back to the Red Path. My name's Jack. Today we're going to be looking at the top Warlord Traits and Relics from the new Codex, following the embargo lift over the weekend. Okay, welcome back to the video. So today, as I said, we're going to be looking at all the Warlord Traits and Relics because there aren't that many of them, both from World Eater's base and from Disciples of the Red Angel. We're just going to go through them, and then I'm just going to give you my thoughts on what I think are the best, I think we're going to see a lot, and potentially also vehicles that we're going to see them on. So in terms, like what characters basically we're going to see, based on their stuff. So yeah, we'll get straight in. So up first, we're going to look at the base World Eaters ones. So 3 base relics: Helm of Brazen Fire, available on all our unnamed characters, which is Demon Prince, Juggernaut Lord, and Master of Executions. Just a straight -1 to wound. Great, solid, fine. Like it makes stuff, especially because 2 of those things, so Demon Prince and Juggernaut, are toughness 6, makes them pretty hard to shift. I believe they both have 4-up invuln as well, so that combination just makes them a bit of a nuisance. And they are both pretty beat sticky, so fine. Up next, we've got Berserker Glaive. Because of the weapon restrictions, that this is only available on the Lord on Juggernaut and the Master of Executions. It replaces the weapon that they're using, and gives them a Strength +2, AP2, Damage 2 with double exploding 6s to hit. Bit of a side grade on the Master of Executions, just because his weapon is what does the mortals, not him, as I have been corrected several times. So probably not taking it on him. So the Juggerlord is really what you're looking at. I believe he's Strength 6 base, and he's definitely Strength 5, so he goes up to at least Strength 8 on the charge, if not Strength 9, with an a decent marine killing stat line. Puts them to 5s, damage 2, nice. Double exploding 6s to hit means he can mulch squads, basically. So if you're looking for a beat stick character, this is really the only way to build one, is a Juggerlord with Berserker Glaive. Up next, we've got Talisman of Rage. This can go on all 3 of the characters again. So Demon Prince, Lord on Juggernaut, Master of Executions. Basically, in the command phase, you pick a World Eater's core unit within 9 inches of the character, and they get 6s to hit, auto wounded melee. Exactly the same as the Blood Tithe ability, just you can get it for free, or for the cost of 1 CP at the start before the battle, and it is limited to core, so that means Berserkers, Terminators, 8 bound, essentially. Contemptors, Hellbrutes, maybe Contemptors down the line, but Hellbrutes as well. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's also probably not the best. I think of the 3, probably the weakest. Yeah. I'm not sure there's that much more to say on it. I think of the 3, it really depends what you're looking to do. If you do want to spend for an extra relic, then making a Demon Prince like fast and hard to shift with the Helm of Brazen Fire, probably not the worst thing in the world if you're really looking to spend that extra CP for a relic. Alternatively, if you need another beat stick character, so if you're, off the top of my head, if you're not running Angron as a beat stick character, if you've got Invocatus, he's all right, but he's not incredible. If you want to run another like solid enough beat stick character, then Juggerlord with Berserker Glaive is also an option. But it does very much depend what you're trying to do or what holes you need plugged in your list. So in terms of Warlord traits, then we have 3 that can go on unnamed characters, and then we've got 3 tied to the named characters. There is a standout here. The internet has been aflame with it. But we'll get to it. So for the unnamed characters, these can all go on all 3 of the characters, all 3 of the HQs that we have. True Berserker has been nerfed from Index, which is great. Sarcasm. So it just halves all damage in melee again. So it used to do that in Faith and Fury 2, 3, I don't fucking know anymore. And it now does it again. It didn't do it in the Index, it was just halves damage against everything, but now it is back to being just in melee. So, not very good. Yeah, not very. I wouldn't take this. if for whatever reason you're not taking a named character. You've got Battle Lust, which is unchanged. Demon Prince, Juglord, Master of Executions gives them a 6-inch heroic intervention and fight first. Not the worst thing in the world. Obviously a bit wasted on the Master of Executions just because he already has a 6-inch heroic intervention. Fights first is nice. I just think there are better ones as we go down the list. Favourite of Khorne, you gain 1 Blood Tithe point in your command phase, each of your command phases. This is probably the best of the 3 generic ones. I don't think we'll have that many problems generating Blood Tithe points, but it might, like, gaining an extra one at the start of your turn might be the difference between, like, popping off a buff nice and early or not. It also really helps with Pile of the Skulls as a secondary. If you get 1 in your command phase each turn, you can spend that 1 in each turn, and that is 10 victory points minimum for doing nothing. For bringing this relic, you spend 1 CP for this Warlord trait, and you get 10 victory points essentially. So easy. However, because we don't have access to a additional Warlord trait strat, if you want to take that, you are unfortunately not taking a named character. Or you're not taking... Well, that's incorrect. That's just wrong. If you're taking this, it means you're not taking a Warlord trait on one of the named characters. And the Warlord traits on 2 of the named characters, at least, are pretty good. So, first up, we've got the one that is not that good, which is Arch Slaughterer on Khorne. It is a nerfed version of Arch Slaughterer from both the Index and Faith and Fury. Basically, if there are 6+ models within 3 inches of Khorne, he gains D3 attacks. It used to just be if there were more enemy models in range than allied models, I believe, then it was plus D3 attacks, but obviously that was too low a bar, and yeah, I don't think it's very good. On Khorne, maybe it's good because he's damage 3, he's a blender now, but like, I don't think you're spending a CP for it, basically. Now we come to the one which is probably the best one, and causes you to have actual decisions to make about whether or not you take Angron. So the Road of the 8 Bloody Steps from Lord Invocatus. At the start of the first battle round, before the first turn starts, you pick up to 2 friendly World Eater's core units within 9 inches of him, and this unit, and those can make a normal move. He obviously has the aura of plus 2 inches to move as well. It's Apoplectic Frenzy for 1 CP, and you get 2 of them. Well, 3 if you count him. And it's not infantry locked, it's core locked. So that's pretty good. You can get 8-bound moving 11 inches, you can get Terminators moving 7 inches, you can get Berserkers moving 8, you can get Hellbreach moving 8, and down the line you'll be able to get Contemptors moving 10. There's a lot of possibilities here, and there's a lot of flexibility. We've done a video on it. I will try and link it somewhere, but we've done a video on it and other stuff you can use it for. It is very strong. And is enough to probably push Angron out of some of the truly cutting edge lists. But Angron definitely still has play as well. So Angron's Warlord trait is called the Red Angel. He is basically enemy units within 6 inches of him lose OBSEC, which situational, very situational. He also still doesn't count as more than one model. And to quote Mark Whittaker, you don't need OBSEC when they're dead. Which, I mean, if you're near Ron, he's probably killed them, hopefully. I mean, as I say, out of those, there's one standout, which is the one on Lord Invocatus. Angron has to be a Warlord if he's in the army, so you can't take it if Angron's in the army, which is a shame. So I think Invocatus' Warlord trait might push Angron out of some lists, but I'm speculating. The other one is obviously Favoured of Khorne, if for whatever reason you don't want to run named characters or Invocatus in particular. Because, I mean, Invocatus and Furious Ronald are both very good characters in their own right. Invocatus has a very good Warlord trait that pushes him a little bit harder. If you don't want to take either of those, for whatever reason, then Favoured of Khorne is probably the best generic one, just because it does equal 10 victory points for doing nothing. You stick it on a character, the character sticks at the back of the board. You gain 5 blood type points across the game regardless. You trade those in for 2 victory points each at the end of the same turn, and you get 10 victory points. In terms of like scoring, it's really, really strong. The others, like the 6-inch Hurricane Fights First is niche, but useful in niche situations. But the blood type point is guaranteed victory points. So yeah, that's my thoughts on generic World Eaters. I think Helm of Brazen Fire is decent depending on your build. Berserker Glaive also decent depending on your build. Probably only on a Juggerlord for the Glaive. And Helm of Brazen Fire obviously gets most benefit on the toughness 6 ones, so the Demon Prince or the Juggerlord. And then you've got, the Road of 8 Bloody Steps is the best one by a distance, I think. That's not to say it's worthless paying for Angrons. If you do want to play Angron, it's not worthless taking his Warlord trait either. It's kind of a shame he only gets 1, when his brothers both get 3 or 4, and Altarian sort of gets 4, but that's a shame. But what can you do? He is still really solid. He will murder stuff. So next up, we have the Disciples of the Red Angel. So there's less to go through here, just because one of the conditions of the Disciples of the Red Angel, because it's basically an army of renown, is Angron has to be in your army and he has to be the Warlord. So we've already been over his Warlord trait. Shocker, that is the best one of the one available. In terms of relics, there's some alright stuff. It's not that alright, actually. It's just, you're probably not spending for these. You've got the Burning Plate, which is Demon Prince or Juggerlord, just because those are the only 2 characters you can take, aside from Invocatus, but he can't take relics, because they're the only ones with Demon keyword. +1 save, +1 wound. So that takes both of them, I believe, to 9 wounds and a 2-up save, because the Juggerlord is 3-up base, which is sad. Look, it's fine. For the same reason as the Helm of whatever it was, Brazen Fire, is alright. Like, it makes your character slightly harder to shift. The +1 save and +1 wound is welcome in a world without Armor Contempt, but it's not insane. So then up next is the Soul Burner. So the Demon Prince replaces his arm gun, so the one in the new kit. So the arm gun in the new kit is heavy 3, strength 5, AP 2, 2 damage, so it's a slightly better heavy bolter. And it gets replaced with a 12-inch range, 2d6, strength 7, AP 2, and I think damage 1 flamer. Damage 2 flamer, it also might be that. But I could see it being either 1 or 2. If it's 2, then it's pretty good, honestly. 2d6 is still a bit swingy, but that'll toast a lot of Marines if it's damage 2. And then finally, the Skull of Angarant, I guess. So Demon Prince or Juggerlord, pick a visible enemy unit in the command phase. The bearer can reroll wounds against that target. It makes one of those 2 characters decent at killing something big, but even then, the Juggerlord's weapon is damage 2. It's probably only worth on a Demon Prince, because he's going to get a lot of strength 10, AP 3, damage 3 attacks. So if you have a priority target, it gives you some flexibility because you can pick multiple targets in the game, slightly better than like Eternal Vendetta. In that respect, you can pick multiple targets, but it's obviously only the character rerolling wounds. And as I think it was pointed out in one of the reviews I've read, you don't really have a way of marrying this up with. I guess you do. You've got you don't have Gory Dismemberment, Disciples of the Red Angel, so you have no way of pairing it up with Mortals, basically. So you can reroll wounds, great, but there's no way of really juicing it up and like fishing for mortal wounds. So they're a bit lackluster. If the flame is damage 2, then I'd maybe say that one is among the best. What is the best? The Burning Plate, depending on your build, making smash characters harder to kill is always good. And the Demon Prince is a smash character just by existing, I think, because he has a lot of strength 10 -3 damage 3 attacks. Assuming you take the sword, which why would you take the strength 11 axe over the strength 10 sword? So I haven't gone into Demonic Infusions here, which was kind of the instead of Warlord Traits for the Disciples of the Red Angel, just because I know Dara and Jamie are doing a full review video on the Disciples of the Red Angel, where they will no doubt want to go into the Demonic Infusions, which buff 8-bound units, and it buffs one 8-bound unit, but yeah. So a shorter one this time, just because there wasn't that much here. I'm kind of fine with it being a cut down version. Like, in the Chaos Space Marines book and Index Hammer, we've been not spoiled for choice, but there's been a lot of good options. And so it's meant that people have spent a lot of CP pre-game, even before Red Butchers and stuff like that. And I am looking forward to having many more. As someone who's started the last 9, 10 tournament games with 0 CP, I'm looking forward to starting with 4 or 5. At minimum, we can start with 4. At minimum, we can start with 3, because we can technically get a relic in a Khorne Demon's detachment, if you really want. Well, you may want, actually, with Angrath, but that player's alive and kicking. So you can start with 3. If you buy one of these relics, you buy a Warlord trait and you buy a Khorne Demon's relic, but that's still a lot more than we have been starting with. And I'm looking forward to probably starting with 5. My early lists are either looking at Invocatus with a Warlord trait and no Angron, or Angron, and then I'll probably just pay for his Warlord trait, because otherwise I'm starting with 6 and that feels wrong. Yeah. So, lots to be excited about. Some people are less than happy with the cut down selection. I think it's kind of fine. It gives you a lot less to think about, a lot less bookkeeping, and allows you to make more interesting decisions, or gives you more interesting decisions and agency in the game, which pushes you towards player skill a bit, which I'm always in favour of, I think. Yeah, so as I say, shorter one this time. Stay tuned for Through the Magical Time Travel. I think top strats will already have come out. Stay tuned for top units coming soon, and also top jank. Can you guess who's doing that one? But in the meantime, guys, join the Discord. We have many good things on the Discord. We have Krieg, we have Dara, Jamie, me, if you really want to talk to me, but Krieg. It's got some crazy list ideas. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Help us get advanced copies of stuff next time. We unfortunately did not this time, but we could with your help next time. We can bring you this content even earlier. So, yeah, in the meantime, guys, stay healthy, stay safe, and kill me better.